Well, it's wheeling season again, and the T100's still down. Samurai's still out in the bushes. So I decided to go get myself a new wheeling pickup. What we got here is a 2000 Toyota Tacoma. She's a standard cab, so she's got the small wheelbase. And as you can see underneath the front there, it is not stock. But let's go ahead and touch on this motor. See me, I'm a huge 3.4 fanboy, but I actually fell in love with a 2.7 quite before I got into buying 3.4 liters, which if you can find one of these standard cabs with a 3.4 liter, I'd say swoop it up to 190 horsepower in a freaking standard cab, small, short wheelbase. But they only made them from 95 to 97, and then pretty much every standard cab you get after that is a 2.7 liter. Unless it's a two-wheel drive, then it's a 2.4, 2RZ, but four-wheel drive, they came with the 3RZ. These 3RZs are definitely one of the best freaking Toyota motors ever produced. This one here is actually a brand new reman. Has about 1,400 miles, 1,500 miles on it. I don't know what happened to the other one. Not real sure. I bought it like this. Well, bought it a little uglier than this. I ended up doing the Rhino line paint job and all that stuff. If you watch my videos, you would know that. But I have not touched base on the pickup yet. So these 2.7 liters, they're rated at 150 horsepower, which is pretty weird because when they first came out, they actually had a distributor. And then they went to 2 coil packs. One coil pack running 2 cylinders. And then the later 2001 through 2004, they actually have individual coil packs, which seem to have a little bit more horsepower. So I don't understand how they rate them at 150 across the board. As you could hear, I still sound pretty sickly. I ended up over there in that cabin in Nevada and ended up catching the plague. Fun stuff it was. One of the worst dang flu I've ever had in my freaking life. But back to the pickup here. So I kind of, I probably sound pretty raspy. All right, she's got a Spec-Air cold air intake, and I'm not a huge fan of these. In all reality, I like the stock air box just because it seems to let less stuff through. And then actually my buddy Garrett got me turned on and just plugging this off, and so water can't come flying through there and hydrolock your motor or anything like that. But I went and bought one of these socks to put on it. Just this is a water displacement. You dump water on it, it kind of beads off. So hopefully that helps things. And it came with that. And as you can see, it came with that hose across there. And I did this little thing. I had kind of a janky thing plug in the hole, so I doubled down on the jankiness. I put quite a bit of work into the pickup. Did the paint job. Freaking fancy racing stripe. Painted the Toyota emblem. Put new Watch for Wildlife plates on with the cool little covers. Alright, she has got a Dana 44 out of a Jeep Wagoneer in the front of her, which is pretty freaking awesome. Tougher than nails. It's got a 8.4-inch rear end. I believe it was out of a T100, and it's got some kind of locker in it, whatever, that like when you're turning, it actually lets it spin, so you're not chewing your tires up. But then once you give it power, it kicks in kind of like a limited slip setup. I'm not sure what he said it was called. Maybe a True Track. I know it's not a Detroit. Maybe some sort of Detroit. I'm not sure. All right, the dash is kind of janky. Painted it, and the interior is pretty beat up, but it's a wheeler. And a lot of you are thinking, how the heck can your 6'7" butt fit inside a standard cab? Well, I actually used to have a 98 standard cab, and I love that freaking pickup. It was on 33-inch tires. They had the Fab Tech lift kit, still had all the independent stuff, and had a locker in the rear end. And man, me and that pickup, we went freaking everywhere. I mean, that around these parts, that pickup kind of infamous, really. Ended up around here a long time, even after I got rid of it. Traded it for a Power Stroke. I ended up getting the dang thing back and drove it for another couple years, and then ended up selling it to a guy I know, and finally, I thought he would be the death of it, but the dang thing's still running around. Old River, he put her through the ringer. He ended up having an accident, and I think Pete crashed it, messed up the fender and bed and windshield and all that stuff, but it was still on the road. And I ended up with it back, actually, in a trade deal, and then finally just got rid of it. I was like, all right. I think I sold it for like $1,500. I really wish I wouldn't have. It was still under 200,000. I bought it with 140 on it. It was a great freaking pickup. And just funner than heck. I mean, that thing would go anywhere you point it, through quad trails, everything, you know. I remember this guy up in Bannon, he was just like, oh, there's no way in hell you're gonna make it up that. You know, there's a couple 4Runners and a Jeep Blazer, not a Jeep Blazer, a Chevy Blazer, and a couple other rigs trying to make this hill climb. And me and the old Red Rocket, the 98 standard cab, just shot up it like it was freaking nothing. It was a sweet pickup, but whole time I had it, I wanted to do a straight axle underneath it. Back then, I didn't really have much knowledge of how easy it was to, you know, put a W56 transmission, then go passenger drop, just do a Toyota axle. But I always heard these Wagoneer 44s, you know, being the driver's drop, which is what they did here. They put 488 gears in it. So even with these 35 tires, these Toyo 35, 13, 515s, it still feels like it's got plenty of freaking, plenty of get up and go. It's a pretty sweet pickup, really. All right, the guy, when he went to go put this reman motor in, he actually did a balance shaft delete, which I don't know a lot about. I just know that there's two camshaft driven rotational kind of balancers. And yeah, I've heard of ones down in South America going bad, but I haven't heard of many here in the States going bad, and it's catastrophic when they do go bad. So he went ahead and did the delete of those, which is, it's pretty strange to me, but at the same time it doesn't have any weird vibrations or anything like that. So I don't, Toyota, they overbuild the heck out of everything, which these 3RZs, it's got a forged crank and forged rods for 150 horsepower. That's another reason why they're just so freaking tough. I mean, Toyota just overbuilds the heck out of stuff, which is awesome, which is kind of why I'm a Toyota fanboy. So 3RZ, one of the best freaking Toyota motors ever developed, really. It's from 1994 is when they started producing them, whatever, to kind of take the place of the 22RE, which the 22RE was one of the most infamous motors Toyota ever made. They're a little low on horsepower, which Toyota, they don't pack a bunch of horsepower and stuff unless you get, you know, like a freaking dang, yeah, it's hard for me to think right now. Dang sickness. I was thinking super motor. Not the old 7MGTE motor, but that 2JZ. Yeah, 2JZ, they got a freaking buttload of horsepower. All right, it's got the stock header on it. I've actually got an aftermarket header, but I don't know, I'm kind of liking the quiet of having just a stock header. And I don't know why, but it seems like the older I get, just stock stuff just seems to be more reliable. And so with that said, I might throw the header on just because it sounds cool. Oh. All right, it kind of had a big old hole there. It was opened up, whatever, when they put these shock towers on. So I cut a floor mat and stuffed it in there just so more water will stay out of there. And plus noise dampening, kind of noise dampening. All right, if you want to see how I did this paint job, I did a couple videos before and after. I didn't like go through and do a time lapse or anything like that, which I should actually start doing more videos like that. Like I watched that Vice Grip Garage guy, and then that Junkyard Digs guy, man, they're freaking awesome. If you want to watch people work on stuff and like clean their rigs, and both those guys are freaking phenomenal to watch. So I was kind of thinking maybe I should go more that route, do more videos like that, but still kind of trying to be original. Just one shot, one take, walk around, talk crap about it. And I put new doors on it. As you can see, I didn't paint the inside. This is my Wheeler pickup, so I didn't go 100% details, but I mean, what I got here is pretty sweet. The pickup itself's only got 190,000 on it, but you know, who knows? At the front end, it's 1974 Jeep Wagoneer. Who knows what it's got on it? Which has got fancy hubs and got some weld wheels, which I really do like these 12 wide weld wheels. And it stands tall. I mean, almost too tall, but I think I'm gonna step up to a bigger tire. I think I might go with 36. I got a 488 gears, so I'd have no problem pulling them. You know, I was kind of thinking maybe a 37, but I don't know if I want to go that big. And yeah, I got this canopy off the marketplace, went up to Coos Bay and got it. Lady had it for free. I ended up giving her 20 bucks for it, and she was super stoked when I handed her 20 bucks. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty awesome, you know, just to keep the dogs dry. And as you can see, I did my freaking trailer light for the, you know, license plate light, just to be all legal. She got the old Give Her the Onion sticker from Timber. Pretty awesome. Timber making all those stickers and stuff. And then the Boss Man, you know, the old Packer and Associates. It's a company I work for. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Come work on stuff in my boss's shop. Perks of the job. He's a super cool guy. All right, so it's kind of small, but these Tacomas have way more room than the third gens or second gens. Or, yeah, the first gens are just freaking tiny. So I could actually fit in a Tacoma standard cab, being 6'7". I'm actually like 6'6" 3/4, whatever. Whatever. Same diff. All right, the headlight. Still need to do a little bit there. The Core Sport got a little banged up, so headlight sits a little wonky. But I'll worry about that after our wheeling trip. Yeah, we're gonna go on a wheeling trip here tomorrow. The annual after Thanksgiving trip, and hopefully I get some cool videos for you guys. You'll be able to see this thing in action. I can't wait to show you how she dances. Me and that locked up rear end and little short wheelbase, and this Wagoneer axle actually turns super tight. So she is kind of a dancing queen. But figured I would snap out a video, guys, for you. Snap out a video for you guys and kind of just explain the new wheeling rig. Because I know if you watch the paint video, you know, I didn't really talk anything about the pickup, but here it is. 2000 Toyota Tacoma standard cab, Dana 44 front, Toyota 8.4 rear, weld wheels, fancy pants paint job with a racing stripe. And hopefully it's a good pickup for me. I think it's gonna be, you know, it's a freaking Toyota. I don't know much about that balance shaft delete. That's kind of foreign to me. That's a little weird, but whatever. It says, I guess it gives it like 13 horsepower. And so 13 horsepower, let's just say that is actually 10 horsepower. And then the air filter, those are supposed to give it like 10 horsepower. So let's just say 5. So even if I'm 165 horsepower, that's still pretty spectacular, really. All right, so here's the new pickup. Can't wait to get you guys some videos, her dancing. Thanks for watching, and you know, if you're subscribed to this channel, thank you very much. It's pretty awesome watch you guys like and comment on stuff I do. It's pretty cool to be entertaining, because I mean, like I've said before, I'm going to do this anyway, so I might as well take videos if people are interested in the menagerie I'm up to. It's even cooler. So thanks for watching. Stay awesome.